machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content, like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, and the Foxes, Arms and Rainbows. We are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome back to Leicester Fan TV. It is the Foxes Focus because it is Thursday, and I thought today we would talk about something that, well, there is only really one thing to talk about. I mean, this time last week I was sat here talking about potential transfers for Leicester City and some outgoings maybe, but not the outgoing I thought I would be talking about tonight. It is Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca is one of the favourites to replace Mauricio Pochettino at Chelsea. Yeah, I'm torn on this one. I think a lot of people are. But yeah, get your comments in. Let me know what you think to it, what you think to the news and the rumours. You know, it's a weird one. But yeah, we'll get right into it. We'll discuss it all. We'll get Reedy in as well. And yeah, we'll get all your comments on. So keep getting them in. Cheers. So Enzo Maresca is one of the favourites for the Chelsea job. How mad is that? Get your comments in and let me know exactly what you think to it. We'll be going through some of the news or the reports that have been made by specialists or experts in the football industry, blah, blah, blah. Andreas says they can do one. Tripe and Onion says, oh my God, he's going. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Every time you comment, you make me hungry, Tripe. You make me hungry, mate. 10 million fee. Yeah, it is. Well, I'll share something in a minute, a tweet from John Percy. But yeah, 10 million quid. Tripe Onions also says wants to link up with Fofana and send Chilwell back. Do you want Chilwell? Nicholas says we need to keep Enzo at all costs. I adore the man. The players clearly do as well. And we're in the shit if he's gone. If he goes, get Potter in. Is it achievable? Because that's something we'll talk about as well. Who would you replace Enzo Maresca with if he did go to Chelsea? There are quite a few managers who are out of jobs at the moment who kind of, you know, who interest me, but it's we're not the club we. I mean, I keep telling people we're not the club we were 3 years ago. We're not as attractive as we were 3 years ago. You know, when we were 5th place in the Premier League, and if we were managerless, the names we could get back then. But now it's a different situation. It really is. He's not experienced enough for Chelsea. Well, Chelsea, I mean, they're run by idiots, aren't they, Andy? You know, they clearly think they want him. That's a fact. They want him. There's too much, you know, we can debate whether he would go, but the facts are they want him. They clearly want him, along with a couple other names as well. Kieran McKenna, one of them. Craig Gilbert says, hi, Locks and all LCFC fans. Hi, Craig. Thanks for joining us always. Same to you, Mike and Andy Medhurst. Potter is a better manager and he struggled. Who do we get if he goes? We'll get onto it. Chelsea have contacted Leicester about Enzo's 7 million release clause. It's meant to be 10, I think, now, actually, Richard. It's confirmed as 10. Again, we'll get onto that soon. Hi, all. Hi to you, Dawn. Richard Houston said Mark Robbins as another name. Ted Bowley is an idiot, but I don't believe it. Chelsea would crucify him within 3 months, as would Kieran. We are Leicester and we are bigger than any player or manager. Keep up the good work, Norfolk Fox, Johnny Boy. Thanks for the comment, Johnny Boy. Les Allen says, I don't think Chelsea would want Enzo. He's not experienced in top flight football. I mean, again, like, maybe I'm being naive, but I think it's pretty much confirmed that he's on their list. They apparently have asked to speak to him as well. Because they have to, there's well, no, I think they are written rules actually, but there are rules that some people aren't aware of in football. And one of them, and a major one really, is that you're not allowed to tap up a football manager. I think you're allowed to do it with players, but with managers it's different, and you have to actually officially ask for permission from a club to actually speak with them, with their manager, in a way. So Potter was too scared to take on the last 8 games before. Yeah, but Mike, can you blame him? Would you know? I couldn't see a world in which Graham Potter was going to come into us last season with 8 games left, doomed for relegation. And some would argue, sorry to be a downer, but some would argue that we are doomed for relegation this season as well, with the impending points deduction and FFP problems. Whoever goes to Chelsea would probably be sacked within 6 months. Kian says, seeing fans say, would you take Amorim or De Zerbi? I know, Kian, don't get me started. Reedy mentioned De Zerbi as well, so I'll call him out here right now. He'll be on in a minute, right? He mentioned De Zerbi. Come on. Again, we're not the club we were 3 years ago. We are not the club we were. We are not an attractive club anymore at the moment for now. These managers will not be coming to Leicester City. Not at all. They may want to talk with him, but they'll offer it to Kieran McKenna. My only worry with that, is that Brighton and Manchester United could be managerless soon after the FA Cup final on Saturday. They're 2 clubs maybe that McKenna would prefer to go to. If Enzo goes, I go for Copper. Enzo out, Brendan back. Fuck Scott Blankley said, would be interesting to see McKenna's release clause and activate that if possible. He wouldn't come. He wouldn't come to Leicester, McKenna. He'd stay at Ipswich. He'd stay with Ipswich over coming to Leicester, because, well, Ipswich are going to be on 10 more points than us. Don't forget that, come the start of the season. We need a Moyes type manager. I mean, Moyes is a name I have mentioned, Richard. Moyes is a name I have thought of. The world we're in, look at company at Barano. Saludos desde Peru. Hello from Peru. I'm guessing. I think that's what you've said. So yeah, if that is what you said, then hello to Peru. Ole took United to 2 top 4 finishes when Brendan couldn't. Yeah, but it's Man United. Come on, be real. Right, let's get Reedy in once he puts down his PlayStation control or his Xbox controller. I beat him 5 times today. He's not in a good mood. Here he is. Hello, mate. How you doing? You're on mute, mate. Come on, you're on mute.
What about the 14 before that? But yeah, let's continue.
What? Sorry, you break it. Oh, it's gone. Right. Reedy, let's start with this. Obviously, there's been tweets galore from experts, but I'm going to bring this one up first of all. So this one was reported an hour ago. Literally an hour ago, actually, 5:38. John Percy, Enzo Maresca, a serious target for Chelsea, as reported here by my colleague Matt Law. Release clause is nearer the 10 million mark. Amount required increased after Leicester's promotion back to the Premier League. So Enzo Maresca has a £10 million release clause. Let's start with this. There's no doubt Chelsea would pay it, because it's the thing they do, right? They will throw money at whatever they want if they want them enough. I think the best place to start here, because this is something we really don't know. Do you think Enzo would want to go? Because I don't know. And I think that is the one question where I've even seen leaks or reports that McKenna wants to go. He's interested. All we know on Enzo's side is that he turned down Sevilla, which Fabrizio Romano reported a few days ago. He turned down Sevilla a few weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago. Do you think he would turn down Chelsea?
It is hard because, in my eyes, I think he would fit them well. Because, like I say, the system he plays with us, the philosophy, him going there, for me, would be a good fit for their players. Again, they've got a lot more high-level players. Like you mentioned, they've got Palmer, who could be in that 8 role. Honestly, that would be completely outstanding compared to what we've got. So it would fit, but would Chelsea rather pay 10 million for Enzo or go for someone like McKenna, who I don't know if there is a such big price release clause for him? So
I think it's less. I think it's like 3 million compared to Enzo's 10.
And he's had more managerial experience, hasn't he? Maybe not in the Premier League, but I think I remember him being in the backroom staff or whatever for Man United, wasn't he? So
Yeah.
it's difficult. As much as I don't want him to go, because we've already spoke this before. I think we need to keep some solidity in our team. We played his style for this last year. Yes, we'll be buying new players. We might have new players in next year, but the majority of the team and the majority of the club knows how this system works. And going into next season, it'll be a big help to start off next season playing in the same way. If you're bringing in someone new, if Enzo does go and you're trying to change the whole system again and whole style, it could be an even worse position for us, because it could mean we're already on -10 points, and then we'll be losing games left, right, and centre. Where with Enzo, as much as we might be losing games, there's some sort of structure there that we already know and some people like and love, but some people obviously probably want him to go. I don't know.
Well, I agree with what you said. I think that if Enzo, look, anybody wants to quote me on this in a year's time or clip me up or whatever, if Enzo Maresca leaves Leicester, we are relegated. Now, that's not me saying that we're not going to get relegated anyway. We could do, it's going to be a hard season. We're going to be fighting, there's some Leicester fans out there who have, head in the sand and think we're going to be pushing for top half of the table next season. No, we're not. We are going to be fighting relegation for 38 games next season, right? I personally believe if Enzo Maresca leaves Leicester, we are down already, straight from the bat. I really do, because I just think that what you need now this summer and next season is stability. I think we're going to have problems with signing players. We're going to have to sell some players. We're going to have, the big one is the points deduction. I think minimum 8 points, and it could be like 12. We don't know, 8 to 12. I think we need stability. A man that the players, because the players do like Enzo Maresca. You can tell every time they talk about him, they do like him, and they clearly like the way they play. And whether fans like it or not, the players do like it.
The thing is, has Enzo come to Leicester to do this championship title run just to leave again? Like, for me, if I was honest, if you wouldn't come to a club just to come to the Premier League just to then leave, you obviously come to do this whole career of coming up with a team and then staying with them for a couple of years and improve your career. Because he could go to Chelsea and within 6 months he's sacked, and then he's basically like, should I have done this? So for me, his safest spot, we might not be the best spot, but the safest spot for him is to stay at Leicester and do what he's been doing. Because he could make his career go to absolutely shit if he goes to Chelsea and it goes bad for him. I hope it don't go bad for him if he does go, but there's every chance at Chelsea. You've seen the amount of managers they've had recently. There's every chance he will get absolutely slandered from what we've said this season. Like, a lot of it's been good, but then you'd say no plan B, no this, no that. If Chelsea spot all this coming in, then they might be like, well, we shouldn't have got this manager in.
Well, here's a quote from here is the quote from Enzo Maresca this time last summer. He said, or not this time, but a little bit later, when he signed for Leicester. At City, they had known for a long time that I wanted to come back to management and coach on my own. There were several things on the table. The Leicester project seems the most interesting and fascinating to me.
That's the word project.
Yeah.
That's
and he also said,
season.
Well, yeah, he also said in his first press conference for Leicester, he also said, or somebody from ITV said that Enzo spoke about everyone knowing the target, but also talked about a longer term project here, which is why I struggle to see him jumping ship at the first opportunity.
There's a lot of rumours saying that he is favourite, like obviously McKenna, but I think for some reason he doesn't seem to fit as well as what Enzo would do. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't know. There's certain rumours that he's got some sort of link to Brighton's management somewhere. To why he probably would go there, but
well, it might also be, personality-wise as well. I mean, if you look at the personality of Enzo Maresca, I mean, love him or hate him, we've seen it this season. He's an arrogant man. He has an arrogance about him, and some people will say it's a good arrogance. Some people will say it's a bad arrogance because of what happened with the Leicester, the Leeds game, right? But he has got an arrogance about him that I think would maybe suit a bigger club, like a top team, like, whether they're top of the league or not, but as in a big club in Chelsea. The next permanent Chelsea manager odds via Sky Bet: Kieran McKenna 11-8, Robert De Zerbi 11-4, Enzo Maresca 5-1, Thomas Frank 8-1. So he is the third favourite.
Yeah, he's not exactly the biggest favourite. Like I say, McKenna and De Zerbi are like very, very highly favourites.
Yeah.
But,
who wants a temporary job at Chelsea? Bit pointless. Dave Hill says, and a bit of a reaction here from a Chelsea fan. Hi guys, you can keep Maresca based on what I've seen about him having only one way of playing. Bobba says, agree with Locks. We need to see Enzo's process through. Hi guys, I was told several clubs had Enzo on their radar a few weeks ago. This is why I stated on here we should be careful what we were saying about him and having to go when we hit the spotty patch. Boho, yeah, I mean, he's turned down Sevilla already. I mean, that's
a big enough club to be like, if you're rejecting,
and he used to play for them. He used to play for them. He used to play for them as well. He has history.
I think the only reason that people are saying he's very, very close to being in talks with, or maybe even moving, is because it is Chelsea. I don't know. They're a big club, let's just say that, and it's hard not to, for any manager. It's like company to Bayern Munich. Any sort of high level team like this coming from the Championship, you're like, snap your bloody hand off for it. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, company's had a year in the Premier League and shown he can't do it with a poor standard team. So maybe he can do it with a very high level team, and that might be the same with Enzo. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, here's another quote. Breaking news: Chelsea expect to appoint new head coach by the end of next week, with Thomas Frank, Enzo Maresca, and Kieran McKenna as leading candidates. I think that what will, the end of next week, because I think the worst nightmare, the worst thing that could happen is it goes on longer than that. End of next week, I don't think is a massive issue, and the reason I say that is I think Enzo Maresca signed for Leicester last season. Next week, a year ago, right? If that makes sense. So a year ago next week. So, and the Championship season started before the Premier League season starts. If you get what I'm trying to say. So he had, even if he goes next week and we bring someone in pretty soon, we still have a big gap to the start of the season to try and sort things out. But I don't think we will sort things out, by the way. Here's a Aston Villa fan wanting to have a little dig. Would he want to stay when you have a minus 10 points when he could go to Chelsea when they're starting on 0 points? Look, Luca, it's not about, we're not debating who will finish higher next season. Chelsea will finish higher than Leicester City next season. The point is, does he want to leave Leicester so soon in his career? Does he want to make that step up? Because we've seen it really negatively impact some managers in the past. I mean, there's two ways of looking at it, really. Maybe Enzo goes to a big club like Chelsea now, because you never know when that opportunity, if it will ever come again. If he has a bad season next year for Leicester and he gets sacked, there ain't going to be a Chelsea coming in for him. Whereas if he goes to Chelsea now, at least he's at that big club, and maybe even if he gets sacked by Chelsea, then there's less of a drop. He might slot into a mid-table Premier League team. You get what I'm trying to say? But if he fails at Leicester, where is below them the Championship? So the other side, you could say maybe it is too early for him to jump into a big club. Look at Graham Potter. He left Brighton way too early, went to Chelsea, didn't last very long. All you have to do is look at the Graham Potter situation to see it's probably not the best idea to join Chelsea.
Well, he's had 14 games of Parma and now he's had 1 year of Leicester. How is he in a good place to say that he's ready for a Premier League style team? Don't get me wrong, yes, we're in the Premier League, but
yeah,
it's completely different style. Like you're asking like Chelsea. If you think about it, they've gone for all these high level managers. It's not worked either way. So why would you go for an even less experienced manager to try and get you what you want?
Patrick Hook, just to comment on this one, I don't believe that's the case, mate. Everton got 10 points, reduced to 8. So Everton got 8 points deducted. But we have gone over the cap more than them, and we also haven't cooperated with them. So I personally believe it's going to be minimum 10 points deduction for Leicester next season. Stay at Leicester. If he gets sacked, he can get the Bayern Munich job. Ruined Potter going to Chelsea. I never even wanted Poch sacked. I've kept him for another season. I mean, he started to stabilize things for you, mate. I think you were since Chelsea boy 1 2 3 4. You might know this more than me, but if I'm not mistaken, since Christmas or since January, Chelsea are like 3rd or 4th in the Premier League table. I mean, things were getting better. Enzo was at City, he knows, and let him go. We will be okay. Right, really. Let's get on to this now, mate. Before we do, there's 218 people watching. If you can drop a like on the video, and if you are on YouTube, hit subscribe. That would be much appreciated. It's completely free. Let's talk about this. Let him go. We will be okay. So, obviously, if Enzo Maresca leaves Leicester, we will have to replace him. Now, there seems to be some dreaming, I think, from Leicester fans. As I mentioned, some Leicester fans, not all of them, some Leicester fans seem to think we could get a Robert De Zerbi, what was the other name? I've seen the Girona manager who's going to be playing Champions League football next season. For me, the names that came to my mind straight away out of managers who are out of a job at the moment are Graham Potter, which I don't think is completely unachievable. It might be difficult. David Moyes. David Moyes is out of a job. He's just left West Ham. He is not a long-term thing, really, but to maybe try and steady the ship for a year, try and keep us up. Who knows? Do you have any names, mate? Because I know you mentioned De Zerbi to me yesterday, and I kind of took the piss. I don't think it's possible, but do you think Leicester could actually pull Robert De Zerbi?
The only reason why we couldn't do it is because I don't think he'd want to because of the FFP issues. He won't be able to get the players. He won't want to he can't get the players he wants. He won't be able to.
That's why he left Brighton. He left Brighton.
I think if we're in a stable position, I think there would be a chance we could get him because him going to Brighton, when they first went to Brighton, they weren't in the best of spots, were they? Obviously, Potter left. He went in, and they went from average to a really high standard team in the top 8 or whatever it was. So there was every chance we would get him, but at this point, no, we wouldn't. But the only thing I was going to say was the only good thing about Enzo leaving is it means we would be able to probably get a Premier League standard manager who can probably do something in the Premier League. Enzo could do it as well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he can't, but maybe it might be a thing where if he does go, it might help us in a way to get a Premier League standard manager in. So I don't know. I would. Yeah. I have them all. I'm not a big fan of Moyes just because of his style of play, but then that's just because I've been watching what Enzo's been showing us. So it's a lot more boring style of football, as much as people would say that Enzo's is boring, but yeah, it's a hard one. I think out of them all, I don't know. Probably Graham Potter is probably the best fit for us if Enzo does go.
Yeah, Graham Potter is an interesting one. I think you don't know how.
But is Potter is Potter good for a relegation battle, like someone said before?
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. I think Brighton were in a relegation zone in Potter's. In a relegation fight, in not a fight, I would say they were comfortable in the end, but they were struggling at one point early on.
The thing is, Brighton.
Well, he built the foundations. He built the foundations.
That's the problem, though, because Brighton haven't got in my opinion, as much as they overdo the limit, I don't think Brighton have the best of teams. They've got a good squad that work together. They've not got great players. Yeah, okay.
Montag, I don't even mean this disrespectfully. When I do see comments like this, I feel like banging my head against.
When Rodgers went, I would have said Poch.
Yes,
but not now because we won't get him. That's the thing. I would love him, but we won't get him.
I hope this is the case, Chelsea boy, mate. I really do, because again, I'm not Enzo's biggest fan. I'm really not. I was early on, and then after January, just seeing what he was like when things got a little bit tough. I'm not his biggest fan, but I think it would be criminal to get rid of him. For him to leave now, I think it would be just a disaster, really. Have Brighton found a manager? Not yet. I mean,
and now Lox is gone. So, has Brighton found a manager? No, they haven't. He'll be back ASAP, I think. Here he is. He
Good, wasn't it?
decides to just leave and then just comes back. It's fine.
I think Pochettino would be a good option for Brighton. Looking at what he did with Southampton, a smaller team, he got them playing really good stuff, to be honest with you.
He's gone again. Christ, what is happening today? Get Vardy as player manager or Brighton assistant. I don't think that's ever going to happen in my life. He's back again for another third time, lucky.
What's happening? Right, I'm just gonna, Russell Martin, someone said, don't have me on. Union S boys will be happy if he goes. They'll pretend they're not, but you know what I mean. They really will. And I'm not going to go into that. All right, lads, not even finished the season and we can't relax. Yeah, Vardy is a player manager. Go for it. No, absolutely not. If Moyes' football is boring, then Maresca plays the most boring, passing sideways and backwards football.
Come on, Chris, man.
Goes.
The thing is, as much as people say Enzo Maresca's style is boring, like I'm not saying that anyone, if you don't understand the football, you're not smart enough. But no, I'm not. Do you know what I mean? Though, like me and you both.
Chris, Reedy's just called you a thick.
No, but me and you both concede what Enzo was trying to do tactically. Yeah. People if people went to the game and watched it, they would just see us passing around the back and then trying to slowly put it up the pitch. No, there was a reason behind all the things that we did. Passing around the back, passing it to Winks, pass back. There were so many different things why we were doing it. There was a reason behind it all. But that was the difference between him and Rodgers. Rodgers didn't even try and have a tactic. He just played how he could, and that was it. So you can say Enzo's style is boring, but the boring football, in most people's eyes, got us the championship title. So it's the most boring football I've seen ever down the city. These the way forward. Yeah, because it's more about tactics. It's not. It's all one about... of
them. It's like if you can't beat them, join them. Right? If you can't beat them, join them. It's one of them things.
Like, in my eyes, I don't think you could win a league now with 4-4-2. In my eyes, you just can't, because there's no like philosophy or style in that. It's literally just basic sort of football. Whereas now you've got Pep, who's doing this complete, like, 5 at the back, 4 at the back, 3 at the back with 5 up front. Do you know what I mean? There's no way a team can win the league with 4-4-2 anymore. And that's why you can't see the likes of Wolves or a Villa win the league, because since we won it, the football's changed completely. You're not going to win the league anymore with how Leicester played in 2016.
Here's a question for you. If sorry, I'm just reading the tweet here. But it all Leicester and top don't want him to go, but all depends on Maresca if he chooses to stay or leave. Leicester also trying to knot Enzo with new contract soon. If Enzo leaves, Leicester have replacement already planned.
There you go. Scott Chapman here as well. People that don't like Enzo Ball found Pep so boring.
Yeah, I mean, here's a question for you, mate. Talking about Pep, because obviously it is relevant. People will say, "Oh, well, he's not Pep." Yeah, we know he's not. We know he's not Pep, but he's clearly close with Pep. What do you think? And in my world, in my head, I'm seeing Enzo go into Pep for advice. What does Pep Guardiola say to Enzo Maresca here? Do you think Pep would be like, "Yeah, go for it, progress on your career," or do you think Pep Guardiola would be like, "Stick with Leicester, continue the project, and then see where you end up afterwards"?
If you think about it, Pep's obviously one of the best in the league, in the world, managing wise. He's got to look at it and think, you don't go too high too quickly, because he was behind Enzo for a reason. He wanted to learn. This is not learning. This is a fast track to one of the top teams in the league on paper, and it could be all tits up in 6 months. Like I say, I'm not saying it's the worst situation if Enzo leaves us, because again, I've said that a Premier League manager might come in and kind of steady the ship again. But it's hard to see Enzo go after 1 year, because of, like he said, he's came in for a project. The project's not 1 year to get us up and then back and then leave us for another team and hopefully we stay in the league. He's not doing that in my eyes. He's got to stay and show what he can do. Again, if he keeps us up and then from then with a bit better FFP and a bit better financial situation, if we do stay up next year, you never know. We could start challenging for 10th, like I say, a mid-table spot, and it will slowly begin. But he can't just fast track to like a Champions League standard team.
Yeah, I
In
hear what
my
you're
eyes,
saying.
anyway.
Here's something that's been reported by the Telegraph. The final 4 candidates to become the new Chelsea head coach: Thomas Frank, Enzo Maresca, Kieran McKenna, and an unnamed 4th candidate.
So why is
Now,
Enzo's in highlight there?
It's because I searched for him on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
So the unnamed 4th candidate in my mind is probably one of
Resign Poch.
Well, I think Thomas Tuchel re-signing it could be on the cards.
Mourinho.
Can't see it. Can't, not after last time. And also De Zerbi. De Zerbi wasn't named in that list. He could be the unnamed thing. And I hear what people say. Maybe it is a.
Well, he's second favourite, so
exactly. And the bookies always know something. Trust me. You know,
well,
they always
last year I put a
something.
tenner on for bloody Scott Parker to join, didn't I? And that was not happening, was it?
You know what? You know why the Scott Parker? You're gonna call me fucking crazy here, mate. You know why the Scott Parker odds got slashed?
Why? You?
Yes, mate. It happened with Tielemans to Villa as well. Honestly.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were basically saying it's happened. It's doing it. It's gone. It's done.
It happened.
No, it didn't.
Tielemans
You didn't get
to
Scott
Villa.
Parker. No, you said Scott. I said Scott Parker.
Oh yeah, I mean, I sent social media into meltdown last summer.
You were like, "Oh, it's done. It's done deal."
Hey, I was told he was there. I was told he was there. But that is why honestly, that is why the odds slash. I'm being said. Same with the Tielemans. I'll never forget the day I tweeted about Tielemans going because my cousin does eyebrows, not lashes, eyebrows.
Obviously not done yours.
And she does Tielemans' wife. Shut up.
Yeah.
She does Tielemans' wife or Mrs. whatever. And
he's done his missus.
Shut up. And no, it's a girl. It's a girl. The girl does the eyebrows.
Yeah,
right? My cousin's a girl. Does the eyebrows. It wasn't Cav. Does the eyebrows. And did Yuri Tielemans' wife or Mrs. whatever. And she said he's going to Aston Villa. And I put it on Twitter. And I have never seen so many bloody DMs. I had about 4,000 DMs from Villa fans, and then yeah. Anyway, that's a bit side thing. SDG Gaming. I disagree with what you said about your statement about Arteta. As Arteta went there, as it's the only club he refused to celebrate. What? What did SDG Gaming say? I don't know. Chelsea will get Enzo. He will have a very young and promising team to build forward. I see it. I see it working, right? Trust me, I see it working. But if it doesn't work, he's sacked in 6 months. That's just.
And he'll probably regret leaving Leicester at that point. Then.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Let's end on this. Just give me one name. If Enzo goes, who do you want? Who do you want? Who do you want? If you could have any, well, I say anyone. Be realistic with it. Be realistic with it.
If it's anyone, it's got to be Potter. I think because of the style. I think you can't move away from the style completely. This is close to Potter's style.
Yeah.
And you can't completely wipe the style away and start fresh with someone like Moyes because for me it just won't work. Yeah,
I don't know. I think I might have to agree on Potter. I think Moyes is a safe option, though. I do. I think it's a safe option.
It might be safe, but then. He'll be playing a really. I wouldn't say. I don't know his exact style, but I'm guessing it's more defensive than everyone else's. So
yeah, but he's one of them. He's an old school manager. He changes things when he needs to, right? He changes things when he needs to. He's an old.
He'll be playing a defensive style team with a more progressive Leicester style.
SDG,
team.
We ain't getting transfer embargoes. Tell me when Everton had a transfer embargo. Tell me when Nottingham Forest had a transfer embargo. I'm sick of people saying we're having a transfer embargo. It's not happening. This is old news. The EFL gave us a transfer embargo when we weren't even in a transfer window.
It ends on the 6th of June.
It's already done. It's already a transfer embargo. Isn't even a transfer embargo. It's a registration embargo. It means we can't register players. We're not in the EFL anyway. It's irrelevant. Yes. Sorry. Graham Potter. We're agreed, yeah? Graham Potter. If try and get
if he goes. I don't think Enzo should go, though, in my eyes.
Carlos Corberán, not a bad shout. West Brom manager, not a bad shout. Carlos Corberán.
I don't think he should go, though. Risky. In my eyes, I don't think he should, and I want him to stay, in my eyes.
Enzo,
I want him to stay. He should, because of his project.
Rob Edwards. Luton manager. I get it. I get the shout. I get the shout. I honestly do. I hear it.
It's a free 10 million. If someone comes in for Enzo, obviously Chelsea at the moment, then you've got 10 million. Well, you got. No, it's not just that, but you've got 10 million to buy a new manager. So
yeah, it helps FFP. We need a manager with Prem experience. Agreed. That defensive West Ham haven't done too bad considering. Which one are you laughing at? Oh, Daniel Farker. Yeah. God, Joe Ayman, just Joe football show. He said to me yesterday, he went, look at you in Ipswich, getting the managers taken away from you. I went, yeah, it's what happens when you're a Premier League club, mate. You get your managers fucking taken. So you're too good for them. You'll feel good
it for the Championship. So
exactly. If he doesn't go, will you be happy he stays? I will be happy he stays because I think we need stability, and he gives us that right now. In a year's time, maybe it might be best if Enzo isn't at the club. We don't know how the future lies, but we'll have to see. Another one said Rob Edwards, definitely SDG Gaming says Luton manager would be good. Richard said no to Edwards. Richard, you don't know ball. Will Still.
Oh, the Reims manager. Yeah, the one that's got no actual license to manage. Yeah, pay his fine every year. I
think he's got his badges. I think he's got his badges now. But he's a favourite for the. Let me just double check if this is still the case.
Mate, he was such a like meme a while back. Christ, every game you had to pay like 90 grand just to manage it.
Just looking here, mate. He's third favourite for the Norwich job. Will Still. He's third favourite for the Norwich job. David Moyes, he won Europe. He knows. It was the Conference League. Come on. Don't think Rob Edwards would be any good for us, but he's very handsome. All right, Dawn. Bloody hell. Come on, mate. Come on. It's not that type of show, Dawn. Come on. Right. I think that's it. Really. I think it's time to end it. This time next week, we will probably. I will definitely know if Enzo's staying or going. A Come On You Fox quiz episode 3 featuring Reedy is coming out tomorrow at 6 o'clock. And then Jamie from the Fox's Arms is doing the famous Aftermath show at what time on Sunday?
9:30.
9:30. Great. All right, let's jump off. Let's pray to the gods that Enzo Maresca doesn't get taken by Chelsea. And let's hope for a successful transfer window and all the usual stuff. Hopefully next Thursday, there's not much anxiety and we can just look forward to potential signings and stuff like that and not talk about a manager hunt. Can you imagine this time next week? I could literally be doing a show about who our next manager will be. That's mental. But yeah, as always, thanks for getting your comments in. Thanks for liking. Please, there's 260 watching now. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. And as always, come on, you folks.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, The Fox's Arms and Rainbows. Run by the fans, for the fans. Follow us on socials at Leicester Fan TV and visit LeicesterFanTV.com for all the latest news, views and videos.